Welcome back to GTU on this Thursday. Only the best for our fur babies, right? But how do you know if the food that you are feeding your dog is good for them?
And we have Abigail and Bailey here with a new Utah company called Life Elevated Raw Pet Products. And you also have some chief product testers to help you out, right?
Yes, this is Bailey. She is actually the inspiration for Life Elevated. She's 4 and much calmer now, but when she was a puppy, I don't know what she's doing. When she was a puppy, she was very not food motivated. She was much more motivated by toys. So training was difficult, and so having a high value reward for her was really vital. And that's where the whole idea came from. So our treats are really high value rewards for training. They smell very potent and they taste delicious to the dogs. And the ingredients are very healthy.
Abigail Bailey has completely distracted all of us in the studio today. She walked in, all of us started oohing and awing. What kind of dog is she?
She is a Moyen Poodle.
And how old is she?
4.
4. Okay,
Yes.
but this is not your only dog.
No, unfortunately we have, well, not unfortunately, we have 3. Unfortunately, they're not all here, I should say. We also have Atlas, our German Shepherd, and Bogey, our Frenchie.
And are they more treat motivated?
Yeah, those 2 are. Our Frenchie will eat anything, but she, on the other hand, like if you give her milk bones or like a crunchy training treat, she'll just drop it.
Well, Abigail, it's true. Me being a new dog owner, having treats and being motivated and knowing the treats and when you're talking about training and how to sit, how to lay down, you want to make sure that they're paying attention.
Yes.
And treats are the way to go.
So the one thing that my trainer taught me early on with Bailey is that distractions in the environment can be more rewarding than the rewards. And so that was the case for Bailey. So if there was distractions out in public, she was more rewarded in her brain to pay attention to that than take my treats that she didn't love. So I needed to be more valuable to her than the surrounding distractions, if that makes sense.
So was it the taste that you were concerned about with treats, or was it the ingredients that goes into them?
Both. So a lot of the training treats on the market are made, their first ingredients are like wheat or soy, and so they're just not super flavorful. And then you can see ingredients that have byproducts, artificial ingredients, preservatives, food dyes. Like, you know, we don't want to feed our children like Red 40. Well, you can find that in a lot of dog treats now. So it's really important to just make sure that we have treats that are minimally processed and have the fewest ingredients as possible.
The frustrating part for me is also a new dog owner, and I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, and I trust that it's on the shelf so it's good for my dog, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll notice actually if you look at some treats, it'll say like beef flavor, and then you look in the ingredients and there's actually chicken. And a lot of dogs have food allergies or sensitivities. So our Shepherd actually has some pretty bad allergies, and we had to do a protein exclusion diet to try to identify what he was allergic to. And I was giving him pill pockets that were beef flavored. And about a week into it, I realized they had chicken in them.
Oh no.
Because I just didn't pay attention for some reason. Didn't think they had chicken, and so I was feeding him chicken for a week and didn't realize it. So
what types of flavors do you offer?
Yeah, so we currently have 2. So this is our Ocean's Delight, which is salmon and whitefish. That's all you'll find in there.
Well, that's the first 2 ingredients.
Yeah, that's it. That's all there is.
That's what's in there.
So the freeze drying process naturally preserves the protein. So there's nothing else to keep them together, nothing else in there, just salmon and whitefish. And then our other product is Beef Grand Slam, which is beef tripe, which is actually a very great natural probiotic for dogs. Beef lung and beef liver. So they get a little bit of organ meat and still some of that main protein. You can use them as training rewards, or if your dog's just super adorable. And then you can also add them to your meals as a meal topper.
Sometimes that gets my dog to start eating dinner.
Yes.
Is if you add a couple treats on top.
Yep.
How many can you give your dog a day? I guess it depends on the size.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the size. Sometimes they don't get any for a little while, and then sometimes they get like, I feel like a whole bag. It depends
like
on
today.
Yeah, it depends on how heavy our training session is.
She's earned it, right?
Right now, yeah.
What does Bailey prefer? They're kind of crunchy too.
Yeah, she really likes the fish when we're out in public because they're a little bit more smelly, so I think it grabs her attention. Like we go to Shields often and train, and we'll sit at the very top and look over because it's a lot of noise and a lot of distractions for her, and I'll have her look away, and every time she looks back at me, she gets rewarded to teach her that it's okay to be calm.
I can't smell these. Should that dissuade you as a pet owner if you can really smell the dog treat?
Absolutely not, because that means that there's probably more protein and real ingredients in them.
That's a good tip. By the way, her not putting her face in both of these bowls while sitting up here, I can't.
What I was saying.
Believe it.
What I was thinking too. Yeah.
I pack samples for our events, and she sits there with me, and she knows if she waits that she'll get rewarded if she waits calmly. Same thing when we eat dinner. She'll wait in her bed until she knows that we're done, and then she'll come.
Oh,
so
if these
she's very smart.
Help train your dog like Bailey. You need to go grab them. GTU special, everybody, 35% off with the promo code GTU35. That's so nice of you to do for our viewers.
Yes.
All the information about where to order is on your screen. They're on Instagram, Facebook, and then that website at the bottom with
And
the link
Shields
on
and
ours.
Sandy as well.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. So go check them out at Shields if you're here in the Valley.
All right, this is awesome. Thank you, Bailey. She was the perfect tester.